All right, all right. It is a beautiful Saturday morning in Las Vegas. It's a beautiful Saturday morning in Nashville, Tennessee, and it's another beautiful Saturday morning, a little warm in San Antonio. This is John in Las Vegas. What we're going to do today on our seminar, our webinar, we're going to talk a little bit about three different subjects today. First thing we're going to talk about is everybody that's in RPTC Club want to bring you up to speed on a new website for training. That training site is bitcoinbasic101.com. I want everybody to go there whenever you hear the webinar because, again, we have a lot of emails that come to support, a lot of emails that come to me, Sylvester, a lot of emails just come to our overall team about the basics of doing business with Bitcoin, how to make money, Ethereum, cryptocurrency, blockchain, ICOs, trading, all the things that RPTC Club's involved in. Basically, Sylvester put a site together for you that gives you everything you need to know. And I think that's the most important thing we're going to take from our webinar today is bitcoinbasic101.com. And I'm on the site right now on the webinar, so I'm going to read it again. Everything you need to know about Bitcoin, Ethereum, cryptocurrency, blockchain, ICOs, trading, and making money. So just want everybody that's in the database know we're going to email this site to you if we haven't already done it. This is the bitcoinbasics101.com, and really it's your source for making money in cryptocurrency. A lot of people who may not have a lot of experience in cryptocurrency, really everybody, including myself, needs to know everything on this site. I'm going to talk about a couple highlighted points. A lot of companies in cryptocurrency are selling training, and I want to stress this to you. You know, when you sell training to somebody, make sure it's something you originated. Many companies out there, like we have in other companies, we go find great information about cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, and blockchain information, but why should you be paying for something that you can get for free? That just makes no sense. And most of the business opportunities associated to education with cryptocurrency that charge money are selling you information you can get for free. So Sylvester and our team put together a website to give you everything you need to know that other companies are charging for. And the website, again, is bitcoinbasic101.com, bitcoinbasic101.com. First thing is training and knowledge and profits. This is important because, again, this is an industry that is unregulated in most cases, and there's programs out there that are not quite legitimate. They're not quite healthy for the end user. But information is power. Information can be knowledge if you use it. And basically, the first thing we start out with was, you know, what is a blockchain? And people are going to ask, what is a blockchain? So lesson number one we really want to emphasize is, what is a blockchain? And by being able to watch videos that give you information about what the blockchain is, it will eliminate you going into the Bitcoin or cryptocurrency industry not understanding the power of the blockchain. I mean, even the U.S. government 3 weeks ago came out with an article in Cryptocurrency Magazine and Crypto News where they're actually soliciting. This is important for you to understand this. The U.S. government is soliciting blockchain experts right now to move all U.S. data from the Smithsonian Institute all the way to archives kept in the NSA, whichever government entity that stores data, the Congressional Library. They're soliciting blockchain experts right now to create a blockchain for the U.S. government to store all their data so that, again, they too can catch up with technology. They still use a lot of compliance technology that's old legacy-based systems, and some of that technology is 30, 40 years old. So, again, if you don't understand the blockchain, even the U.S. government right now is soliciting people who are blockchain experts, and so you really need to learn about what the blockchain is, how it works, and what it represents. And really, it's decentralized information. That's one thing I'll throw out just in the beginning of our presentation today. Decentralized information means that there's information stored on a network, but not at any specific given point. The reason blockchain is so valuable, could you imagine when Vincent Cerf invented the ARPANET, the Internet? The ARPANET was invented during the Cold War so that there's no specific place that someone can drop a bomb and destroy all the central information or data of the U.S. government. It's called the ARPANET. So go look up your information if you want to learn a little bit about Vincent Cerf. It's funny because people don't even know where surfing the Internet came from And yet the architect, the gentleman who invented the internet, not Al Gore, Vincent Cerf, helped create the ARPANET for the U.S. government. And then it became public, and libraries and colleges jumped on and found ways to use it. Then eventually the internet was born. So if you think of the internet as phase one, where it affects everything today, understand the blockchain is Internet 4.0. It can't be hacked. I mean, think about it. You wouldn't need McAfee software if you're using a PC right now. You wouldn't need Norton software if you're using a PC. The whole Equifax hack that just happened with over 100 million accounts would have never happened if we used blockchain technology. So again, first thing you learn about is what is blockchain. Bitcoin. Bitcoin is so centralized to the blockchain. It is the currency of the blockchain. Came out in 2008, 2009. The white paper was basically produced and formed by a gentleman and or group, Satoshi Nakamoto. We don't know if it's a person or a group, but you learn about Bitcoin. I give you a good example. If you had invested in Bitcoin in 2010, just $1,000, that would be worth $90 million right now. And if you are an investor, a homeowner, a real estate person, or maybe someone who's very educated and you have a portfolio, I want you to ask yourself a question. Why would you not want to learn about a technology that you could have invested $1,000 in 2010 and it'd be worth $90 million right now? That's what Bitcoin represents. So that's something else in giving lesson number two. Lesson number three, basically, or number two, I got the numbers wrong, is Ethereum. Ethereum came out a couple of years ago. Ethereum is programmable technology. It's just very similar to Bitcoin, except for it's considered a smart contract. This is why you need to really study this one. Bitcoin is great because it's a currency, but Ethereum, we believe, is the future, because Ethereum is a currency, it's a smart contract. It's programmable. It's like a vending machine where you could just basically put anything in it, and anything you want to come out is available. Example, in the state of Arizona, their legislature unanimously voted that Ethereum can be used as what we call legal tender or legal contract. You know, you can get married on the blockchain and on the Ethereum network. With Ethereum, I could sell a house for $1 million with just an Ether or an Ether token. You can sell in the state of Delaware. Delaware just voted that you can sell bonds, stock certificates, dividends, and equity distribution with a smart contract. So again, states are being proactive, very proactive about smart contracts, but the issue is that most people who haven't studied about smart contracts don't know the benefits of these technologies. And we're going to talk a little bit about, why is mining so important. Imagine a credit card or debit card today. Every time a credit card or debit card is used, a credit card processor makes a profit. Let me give you an example. You, the consumer, have an electric technology on a piece of plastic called a debit card or credit card. Now, I want you to ask you a question. If you take a pair of scissors and you cut that credit card into pieces, can you use it? I really want you to think about that. You have a credit card. Let's say you have $10,000 line of credit on the credit card. If I came up to you right now and asked you to give me your credit card, I'll take a pair of scissors out and I cut it up in divisions, little pieces of plastic, and I give it back to you, how would you feel? See, that's the old technology we still use today. Now, if that was a Bitcoin, I could actually take a Bitcoin and cut it up basically in over 100 million transactions with one Bitcoin, 100 million. Whereas the old technology, we still use credit cards. When I swipe my credit card through a retail store on a website, I buy something, a processor sits between the credit card, the bank, and the merchant. And they get paid a percentage of the transaction or a gateway fee, transaction fee, for me to buy on the store or buy on a website. So that's very similar to Bitcoin mining. When a person uses a Bitcoin on the website or uses a Bitcoin on their phone, a Bitcoin miner is an individual who authenticates or approves the transaction between you and a vendor or you and a person. Person to person is called peer-to-peer. So the old technology we still use that's available today, credit cards, it can be replaced pretty much buy Bitcoin. And let me give you an example of why it's so important. You know, you'll see later on in our presentation about what happened to Target and what happened to Home Depot, but we'll get into that in a minute. But the biggest thing is, if you get into Bitcoin mining, understand you actually become the processor between a peer-to-peer transaction between two individuals, and or if, like, you can go use Bitcoin on websites like Cheap Air, you can use it on, you know, Overstock, you can buy with Bitcoin on Amazon. You can buy pretty much on over 175,000 locations you can use Bitcoin. But imagine you owning a business and you're getting paid on every transaction that goes through the internet, and not every, but see, you're only allowed like 1,800 Bitcoins per miner. But the benefit is, if you can get paid in Bitcoin every day for transactions to authenticate between a peer-to-peer, person-to-person, or a person-to-a-business transaction, that's not a bad business. I mean, could you imagine what it'd be like to own your own Bitcoin mining platform? And just like when people put money in the bank or they transfer money through a wire, you get paid every day, every second of the day. That's mining. We'll talk about that in a little bit. And also people say, well, John, what do I have to have, you know, to be able to use Bitcoin? Well, you need a Bitcoin wallet. So the interesting thing is, a wallet is an electronic, let's just call it app that sits on your phone, just like your wallet or your purse. It stores your value. It stores your token. It stores your coins. So the biggest benefit for having an electronic wallet on your phone, which you'll learn on this session, looks like lesson number 4, is what is a wallet, how does it work? So that's important for you to know. How do you move your Bitcoins back and forth between you and your friends, or how do you use your Bitcoin when you buy on the website, or how do you pay for things? You need a wallet. The other thing, a trading exchange. One of the things great about Rpctclub is we sell a lot of these products. Like we just announced on our website, if anybody wants to own their own trading exchange, we actually sell it. We partnered up with a company that started in 2013 out of the United Kingdom last week. If anybody on the phone or on this webinar wants to find a way to own their own exchange, let me give you some examples. You can do a decentralized exchange like an Ether Delta and many other exchanges where people can go on your exchange without setting up a true account and trade their cryptocurrencies, and you get paid a transaction fee just like a Wall Street stock market board. I mean, think about this. You know, our company, Rpctclub, is all about teaching you cryptocurrency wealth. Now, could you imagine owning your own Wall Street type business? Now, we also have to help you with situations because in the United States, you know, there's some security challenges. So we set you up with international banking, international business, and things that can help you be in business. Because, again, one thing great about our company is being a Nevada-based company, you'll find out later on why it's so important to be in Nevada. And also you'll learn about State Bill 398. But, again, the exchange is just where you go and sell currencies between each other. Like I'll buy Litecoin with Bitcoin, or I'll buy Ethereum with Bitcoin Cash, or I may buy Zcash and turn around and buy Monero. So again, it's like you having your own stock market board. The only difference, instead of trading stocks, bonds, and dividends and that, you're trading between each currency, and people make a lot of money. I mean, there are traders who trade currencies or cryptocurrencies full-time, just like people who trade the Forex market full-time. The only difference is that, you know, you don't have to enter $50, $60, $70, $100,000. And, you know, you can come in for as little as 10 cents in the cryptocurrency exchanges. But the biggest benefit is everybody gets to participate. Unlike the Wall Street market and stock markets, a lot of times 90% of the people in the world are kind of locked out because they're not considered accredited investor. Accredited investor in the United States, basically someone that can prove to make over $200,000 a year and or has $1 million in value in the market that's certified. So what's interesting about that trading exchange is, just like Bitcoin, it's owned by the people, it's for the people, and everybody gets to participate. We'll talk about lesson number 6, an ICO, initial coin offering. Very important. This is probably the biggest thing that happened in 2017 is from January up until a few weeks ago, the initial coin offerings, they have surpassed every venture capital investment in the last, I think, 5 years. So if you think about it from a business point of view, an ICO is a means to raise capital for a startup company, but we even have clients that use ICOs to buy franchises. You can use an ICO to basically raise your initial offering for a project, nonprofit. You can use an ICO to fund a new startup company. You can use an ICO to fund a bridge loan and pay people back on the ICO. An ICO can be used with a smart contract to either sell tokens for investment, or you can do loans. You can, as I talked about, Delaware just passed a bill where you can do stock dividends and that the typical stuff you can do with an IPO. And in states like New Hampshire in the United States, if you are doing ATM machines or Bitcoin ATM machines, they have a very interesting law there that if you incorporate, they make it to where you can kind of bypass some of the FinCEN rules that you have to do with Bitcoin or ATMs throughout the United States. And some of the states have been so proactive to help the cryptocurrency world out, especially Nevada, where we are. Nevada has made it to where if you're in the trading exchange business we talked about a few minutes ago, and or you're doing an ICO, if you have a Nevada-based corporation, I'm serious, you need to study Bill 398. Just today, I was on an Uber ride with a Uber driver. He specifically asked me what I was doing here, and I said, because of the new Bill 398, I'm here with my company. He goes, you're the third person in 2 weeks that I've given a ride from the airport that's here because of this new blockchain bill. What is it? So he and I had a very, very enlightening conversation about what blockchain is, Bitcoin, and why he's picking up people who are making money in the blockchain industry who are buying houses here and also condos with Bitcoins. So again, even those who participate in ICOs, if you have a Nevada corporation, you may want to consult your attorney with all the information you can get. But an ICO is a beautiful way to raise money without having to go through the regulation. Example, I was with a publicly traded company. Just to do an IPO, you have 600 pages of information you have to submit before you even get approved through the SEC. And, you know, that's their job to protect us, but 600 pages, whereas an ICO, you can create a coin, ERC-20 compliant cryptocurrency, basically do an ICO in less than 10, 20 days versus 600 pages. And then you go into Sarbanes-Oxley and all the rules of how to go public and this person can't have this. And here's the problem with IPOs. Only accredited investors can invest in IPOs before it goes on to the market. I mean, think about that. Is it fair for most people to be left out of a business that could change their lives if they invest a couple $1,000s? But that's why the system's kind of rigged. So when you do an IPO, you only can have people who are accredited investors come in the first rounds before it goes on. I mean, think about that. They'll buy stocks for 30 cents, 40 cents, $2, $1. If you're not an accredited investor, you have to wait till it's on the market, and the market, it may be, $15, $20, $30, $50, $60, $70. So again, ICOs give everybody, because once again, we talked about cryptocurrency is the people's money. It's not regulated by any government. It's decentralized. And an ICO is really a great way to raise funds for a project. And here's the problem, though. About 80% of ICOs are, in most cases, not legitimate. When I say not legitimate, that doesn't mean they're scams. It's just people have good ideas, but they may raise a lot of money and have never run the company before. So the risk of investing in ICO is really based on the management team of who represents that company. So again, ICO is a great way to raise money, but if you're an investor, beware. Make sure before you get involved in ICO, find out who the management team of the company, what their experience is, and what they've done before. So even though we know we promote the ICO industry, we also warn people to do their due diligence, because for $10, there's people who bought tokens for $10 in an ICO that have made millions. I mean, seriously, there's factual ability to prove that, there's a couple people on the internet. If you Google $10 invested into an ICO or $10 invested in cryptocurrency, and these guys made $1 million on $10, those are documented. Now, that's not normal, but it does happen. So, again, ICOs, in my opinion, are the best way to raise money as long as you invest in a management team with a legitimate project. That's lesson number 6. Now, what are the risks and rewards? The final lesson. Back to, we talked about that a little bit about why get into cryptocurrency. I mean, Bitcoin, like I said, in 2010 was 10 cents. If you invested in Bitcoin in 2010, $1,000, that's $90 million. I mean, you can't show me an investment for $1,000 that could yield you $90 million that can be documented. That's legal. I want to say it the right way, but that's legal. So again, what are the risks and rewards? Cryptocurrency is the fastest and biggest thing to ever hit any financial part of the world. It's the most lucrative. It also can be the most volatile. So again, this is why we have classes like this for you to take. Same thing with tools, actions, and profits. You know, this is important. You have to have tools. The second part is set up a wallet, how to set up your wallet with Coinbase and different companies. Same thing, set up an account in exchange, which you had the training on exchange earlier. And then set up a coin tracking account so you can actually, you know, monitor. It's really cool. There's certain sites you can go monitor your actual transactions and monitor other people's coins. And that's for people who want to trade, that kind of thing. And again, you know, we teach a lot of these classes from Rpctclub, and also we teach from the SB 398 here in Nevada. Even at the Chamber of Commerce, we'll be doing classes every Wednesday from 11 o'clock to 1:30 as a lunch and learn on how to do the things you see here. Same thing with lists of cryptocurrencies. What are they? People ask all the time, well, John, there's only two, aren't there? There's just like Bitcoin and this Ethereum. No. There's hundreds of cryptocurrencies. So again, our whole focus is educating people on what's out there. In fact, you know, I just did a class for a couple persons the other day. I was teaching them how investing in startup ICOs may be more lucrative than buying Bitcoin or Ethereum right now, because some of these ICOs have great business plans, great management teams, just what you need to see. And, you know, for a 10-cent coin or a 2-cent coin and, you know, all those things happening may give you the ability to, you know, be fortunate enough to get into an ICO that could become, you know, a $100 token, a $100 coin. But again, that's one of the reasons that cryptocurrency is out there. The other thing is also how to get started, how to buy Bitcoin. We have a link there to buy Bitcoin if you don't own any. Resources also include services like, you know, we teach people how to create tokens. We sell that as a product. We have companies that basically are offering us contracts. It's not available right now, but you'll see in maybe the next 30 days, we'll be paying people in our affiliate program as much as $1,000 a plant or to find locations, that is, for Bitcoin ATM machines. That's really close. We haven't finished the contract yet, but we know exactly who we're going to be deploying our ATMs with. So imagine if you're on this, you're in Rpctclub. Our whole goal is cryptocurrency wealth. So if you could get paid up to $1,000 to place an ATM machine somewhere, and the owner of the location, we can pay them up to a couple $100 a month for having the Bitcoin ATM machine, that's not a bad thing, but that's coming soon. Same thing, ATM terminals. Probably first quarter next year we'll talk about that. But the bottom line is one of our partners is already testing terminals in Korea. And I believe there's 40,000 locations in Korea, and I think Japan is getting ready to have maybe 5,000. So we do have ATM or Bitcoin terminals in the global market, but not in the U.S. at this time. And we are probably looking at second quarter next year for that. So again, our whole focus is giving you a business that can educate you on what part of the cryptocurrency world you want to participate in. We're not pushing any of our members to a specific industry. We are all about deploying all cryptocurrency tools and technologies so that everyone will be using Bitcoin, everybody be using Litecoin, Monero coin, Bitcoin hosting services. There's a couple companies that we're affiliated with where you can actually host your information as a counter to a GoDaddy type hosting. You can do it with Bitcoin. Those services are available. You can click there and learn how to earn, or actually go there and start hosting. So, I mean, you know how big GoDaddy is, and one-on-one, all these big, giant data centers. Think about it this way. If you were to host in the blockchain, probably no one could hack your website. Think about that. The blockchain is decentralized. No disrespect to GoDaddy and some of the big hosting companies, they're all centralized, which means they have a point of attack for a hacker. Whereas if you were to host your information in a decentralized hosting service, and that's next to impossible for a hacker or an individual to penetrate into your information. You've quality services coming, safety store for Bitcoin online. I mean, the Ledger wallet, I use Ledger wallets. I'm telling you right now, even though it's offline, the Ledger wallet technology today You can store 1 million Bitcoins and carry it around on your necklace or your purse, wherever you put it in a safe, wherever you feel safe with it. But again, ledger wallets are huge. We have a link there to learn about that. Basically speculative margin Bitcoin training. You can learn about, if you really want to trade Bitcoin and do that as a part-time thing, we'll teach you how to do it. I mean, we don't sell it, but our job is to educate you on how to earn wealth from Bitcoin and also all the cryptocurrencies. Our meetup group, which is interesting, our Cryptocurrency Meetup Club, we're the #1 cryptocurrency wealth site in the world right now. If you put in cryptocurrency wealth, you'll see our Las Vegas meetup group is #1 in the world. You'll also see our Rpctclub is in the top 5 or top 3 or 4. So in the last few months, we've positioned ourselves as the top information source online for cryptocurrency wealth. Just go Google it. Put in cryptocurrency wealth, hit Google, and see who comes up. So again, we've done a great job with our leaders out here getting us in that position, and we want to stay there. So again, whatever we have to do to help you to create cryptocurrency wealth in your personal life, that's what we're here for. We'll also have some more services coming out. But again, we want to make sure all of our affiliates get the right information about how to become wealthy in cryptocurrency. There's no secret. There's no handshake. There's no insider deal. It's all the knowledge base that you see on the screen right here that can help you really take advantage of cryptocurrency. And I promise, change your life. I mean, at the end of the day, I do this because, again, someone blessed me with telling me about cryptocurrency 3 years ago. At first, I myself was a skeptic. I thought it was a scam. I thought, whatever. But as I started studying 3 years ago, I ended up teaching cryptocurrency, investing in cryptocurrency, living, breathing cryptocurrency, and wearing Bitcoin T-shirts, blockchain T-shirts. So when you find something you're passionate about that you can really help people, you really can't stop talking about it. But again, our Bitcoin Basic 101 site.com, it's here to help you, understand Bitcoin, the opportunities we present to you. We aren't specifically focused, as you probably can tell, on the specific side of the cryptocurrency world. We're laying things out for you to choose. This is important for you to understand about our RPTC Club. Our club is not dogmatic, where we're forcing you to look at one part of the industry. We're showing you everything. And when you choose what you're excited about, stick to that. Don't worry about the other things we promote. Stick to what you like, whether it's our social media service or it's our blockchain ads. Find something about what the club promotes to support cryptocurrency and become passionate about it. We also teach you how to earn Bitcoins, increase your wealth. I mean, that's what I'm getting ready to transition to in a minute, about how to earn Bitcoins and really increase your wealth. The other thing is, and we always say this now, we always say the same thing. If you let us do our job, then there's nothing that you'll be missing. So again, when you see on our site, help us help you, we really mean that. A lot of times people will get into a business, but they won't help themselves by studying the business. So we also see sometimes emails and things coming from customer support, like, wait a minute, that's on the website. Or wait a minute, didn't they go and read that in the back office? Or wait a minute. So again, in order to help us help you, the biggest benefit is we're here to help you understand the entire business model of our PTC Club. And our job is to teach you how to attain wealth from cryptocurrency. So again, one of the things you can help us with is always make sure that when you hit or go to a customer support type situation, that we're getting things to you that you need that are really relevant to your success. And you'll find, you have emails, you can email customer service, you can call the 972 number. That number rings into a voice system, and then basically it turns into an email and is sent to one of our partners on the team. So again, the biggest benefit is this site, I wanted to highlight this morning, BitcoinBasic101.com is there for you for anybody who feels they don't understand enough about Bitcoin, but they want to be educated about not only what our PTC Club can do, but educated about all the aspects of what Bitcoin is, what blockchain is, all that. So we're at the top of the hour right now. I want to do a quick transition because one of the most exciting things that we've been dealing with the last few days is when we were waiting on the transition to move from Dallas, Texas to the Nevada environment. As many of you know, one of our company teams is our Prometheus Revolution team. Prometheus Revolution started before our Rpctclub because for the last year and a half, 2 years, my whole focus and our team's focus has been the story of Prometheus. It's the story of a Greek god who basically stole fire from the other gods. And what he did is he broke a tradition, he broke a law. Mankind, based on that tradition, that Greek mythology, that Greek story, was never supposed to receive fire. So we were looking at a name for our team about 2 years ago. What are we going to call ourselves? The Bitcoin Gurus? No. We wanted a team name that made sense. So we ended up choosing a name, Prometheus Revolution. So when we talk about the story of Prometheus, how he stole fire from the gods and gave it to mankind, we ask a simple question. Is this real money? And you'll understand what we're going to do the analogy of Prometheus in a second. When you see a Federal Reserve note, and you look at what the question in the window says, is this real money? Well, what I see, it says a Federal Reserve note. And then it says United States of America. Then it also says, this note is legal tender for all debts, public and private. But nowhere on here do you see the word currency. So you got to ask that question, is this real money? Well, let's see what it says. No, it is not real money. A dollar bill is not lawful money, but rather a legal tender from the U.S. Treasury and Federal Reserve notes, are not redeemable in gold, silver, or any other commodity, and receive no backing by anything. Redeemable notes in gold ended in 1933 and silver in 1968. So I'll ask the question again. Let's go back. Is it real money? Well, based on what the Federal Reserve says, no. And yet people will ask that question, well, you know, Bitcoin's not real money. Bitcoin's not backed by anything. But I'll read again what the Federal Reserve says. No, it is not real money. A dollar bill is not lawful money, but rather a legal tender from the Federal Reserve. Federal Reserve notes are not redeemable in gold, silver, or any other commodity, and receive no backing by anything. Redeemable notes ended basically in gold in 1933 and silver in 1968. So I want to start out with that basically because remember the story of Prometheus? What happened is most people didn't hear that story, but I want to go one more step before we talk about Prometheus. I'll remind you of Prometheus again. Have you ever heard of the American Monetary Unit? Theoretically, it's basically called the Amero. Do you even know about the Amero? Have you studied NAFTA? So basically, this is a actual real currency that 99.9% of people in America don't even know exists. This currency is backed by Canada, Mexico, and the United States. So again, if you look at this and you've never heard of it, you might want to go Google this one. I'll let you do your homework on this one. It's the Union of North America, if you notice what's on the screen. It doesn't say Mexico, doesn't say Canada, and it doesn't say United States. Union of North America. So look that one up. Let's go back to the story of banking. How are these banks treating their customers these days? Well, let's see how Wells Fargo is treating their customers. Well, look here. Wells Fargo caught creating ghost accounts, steal millions from their customers. Zach Cartwright, September 2016. Whoa, hold up. What is this? Banks doing what? Well, recently Bank of America was charged $800 million settlement for cheating their customers out of money. Customers are tricked into purchasing useless credit protection when they sign up for a credit card. High interest fees, high fee to receive, current exchange fees, lengthy delays, security issues, privacy issues, fraud, chargebacks, bounce checks, identity verification, deposit limits, unauthorized charges, and no global economy. Do you realize if I send money from Bank of America to China, Hong Kong Bank, that has to be transferred into local currency, which means that there's no global economy because there's a transaction fee that has to be the ability for the currency to change the currency of country. So really there is no global currency in the world today. And banks don't seem like they're treating us too well. And it says, what will you do different this year And what will the future of money look like? Now, remember we talked about Prometheus. Well, let's just go a little step further. I love these companies, love Target, love Home Depot. But 100 million of their customers lost their information based on being hacked. Now, if they were on the blockchain, this would never happen. Same thing with the banks. If banks used blockchain, you wouldn't have these high transfer fees. You wouldn't have these ghost accounts created and the CEO sat in front of Congress and said he never heard about it, knew about it. So again, these things can be eliminated by the blockchain. Same thing. 13 million cases of identity theft every year, username, passwords, all because we still use legacy technology that's not decentralized. And the question you can ask yourself, well, why would you join our team? Where are we going with this? Well, we want to increase the value of social network and forge relationships with great people who believe cryptocurrency is the future. That's the whole reason that I wanted you to see a couple of things about what's going on today to bring you to this slide right here. We believe cryptocurrency is the future. Same thing here. Monday, independent. The separation of money and state is the new separation of church and state. Eric Royce, this is the truth. Bitcoin is not owned by any government. Bitcoin is not owned by any church. Bitcoin is not owned by any race. It's not owned by any religion. Bitcoin is owned by the people. Remember the story of Prometheus? So what happened is, what is Bitcoin? Well, I'm not going to read this whole thing, but Bitcoin was created by Satoshi Nakamoto. We don't know if it's a person or a group. But what's interesting is Bitcoin solves all the problems of banking and service fees and delivery of assets. Bitcoin solves all the problems of banking and service fees and deliverable assets. It's run by the people, for the people, no central government controls. Well, think about what Prometheus did. Satoshi did the same thing. He gave you and me the ability to be our own banks. Supposedly, Prometheus gave us fire, which he got punished for. And think about it. If the world knew who Satoshi Nakamoto is, believe me, he'd be punished worse than, Prometheus ever was punished for, because here's somebody or a group that gave people the ability to become their own bank. And I promise you, banks are not happy about that, and neither are the governments. So again, receive 100 billion investments. This is fact. The infrastructure and blockchains already had over over $1 billion invested. I believe it's at about 7 billion right now, last check, because these numbers are from 2005. But the bottom line is, everybody's getting on the bandwagon. American Express, Goldman Sachs, New York Life, all these major companies now are investing into the blockchain because that's the future. And the question you can ask yourself is, what is your bank doing with Bitcoin? Well, Bank of America tried to apply for a patent to own the blockchain. And that's the craziest thing I ever heard. Wells Fargo held a summit, and they're coming out with their own blockchain. So again, here's a question. Remember George Bush, fool me once, fool me twice? And at the bottom it says, not again, fool me once, fool me twice. Remember that whole thing? So if the banks get into the blockchain business, are you going to have the same thing happen to you again? Or are you going to stick with the blockchain that exists today, not controlled by any central government, not controlled by any central bank, not controlled by a religion or race or anybody? And again, don't be fooled, because there's going to be a lot of information coming out about how bad, Bitcoin is doing and this propaganda. But what I want to talk about is positive stuff. Nevada just came and passed Bill 398, which means that they prohibit taxing on any blockchain technology. I'll read it to you. It says a board of commission shall not impose any tax or fee on the use of blockchain by any 14 person or entity. Require any person or entity to take a board of 16 county commissioners any certificate, license, or permit to use of 17 blockchains. So think about that. Unlike New York, which makes you get a license to do anything, Bitcoin mining, Bitcoin trading, Nevada just made it where you don't have to have a certificate, you don't have to have a license, and you don't pay taxes based on blockchain technology. And other says, and impose any requirement relating to the issue of blockchain by any personal entity. So think about this. If you're in Nevada doing business as a blockchain company or cryptocurrency company, you now have a blockchain cryptocurrency tax haven. Now, you still, pay taxes on other things, but bottom line is, it is a law prohibiting tax on blockchain technologies. So that means if you have a blockchain company, i.e. a Bitcoin company, you fall under this regulation. This is just like the old days where people go to Singapore or the Bahamas and open up corporations, but there are so many people who need to know about Bitcoin and how to earn income and have wealth from it. But the first thing you got to is figure out how to protect yourself. So Nevada has stepped up and given us a place to openly do Bitcoin mining, openly to talk about Bitcoin trading in a public forum without worry about going to jail. So think about this. Nevada has always been known, you know, with Vegas and all that stuff, but the biggest thing is now they've become a tax haven, a cryptocurrency tax haven. It's very important to understand that. But if you can becoming your own bank is pretty important. So again, I'll give you an example. You know, $22,000 investment, you know, some of these kids who start out with blockchain mining and they end up, you know, making $500 a day, $1,000. Now there's people, you know, mining in farms that are 200-300 feet wide, and China has gone into the mining. But the whole thing is, it's not too late. Bitcoin is still such a small currency in the world that if you get into blockchain mining, the first thing we do is we teach you now, because we're in Nevada. Imagine getting paid every day, just like Prometheus. He taught use of fire. What we're teaching is you can buy equipment, and we'll tell you the equipment is basically the S9 equipment. That's the best equipment out right now for mining Bitcoin. You can buy equipment. You can lease equipment with us now. You can buy your unit. You don't have to have experience to get paid every day. You don't have to have overhead. We've got a 3.5-year-old company that's already mined $300 million in Bitcoin and paid commissions out on it. Now think about all these crazy Bitcoin deals that tell you that you can make 1-2% a day, all that trading junk that's out there. But they're not, I mean, most of them don't last 90 days. I mean, since we started our Bitcoin model for mining 3.5 years ago, to be able to tell you we've paid over $300 million out to people like you and myself is facts. But also you have a secured equipment environment, secured rack, you have maintenance, you can upgrade your equipment so when your equipment expires, because of the commissions that you're earning from mining, it self-sustains itself. I mean, think about that. This is in perpetuity because Bitcoin's not going anywhere. We also have mined 265,435 Ethereum has been mined. And basically, you know, Ethereum is pretty new. But the biggest benefit for you is you can come into this business, the mining business, with no experience. I mean, imagine you become your own bank. Just like we talked about, Prometheus, quote, gave mankind fire. Satoshi gave you your own currency. I mean, that's why we call Satoshi and Prometheus pretty much the same person in that sense. And again, let's talk about our mining partner. 3.5-year-old company. Their business model has been up for 3.5 years. They're an international platform. Coinbase, they have a actual, we talked a little bit about the terminal technology for Bitcoin. They have 35,000 or 45,000 locations they're setting up in Korea testing Bitcoin terminal technology right now. They're in the top 4 and the top 5 largest Bitcoin mining companies in the world. I know last talking to the owners and some of the partners in our founder, I'm a founder over there. You know, I know that just in our Bitcoin wallet, we average somewhere between, I think, 17 million and 23 million a month of just stored Bitcoin that's been mined outside of what's being paid. So I think those numbers are pretty accurate. I'll check them later. But again, you know, it's set up direct marketing. Just like the one thing I love about our Rpctclub Club is we can actually participate in other programs because we're an affiliate program. Even though our partner has a direct marketing model, it doesn't bother us one bit because in our Rpctclub Club, there's no upfront money to get paid income. So when we find a credible business, we find a credible partner, and they have, first, a legal system. Second of all, it's not some startup where all these people are jumping in for 90 days and jumping from the next deal to the next deal. And then having where, I mean, it's documented in their company. They've created several millionaires a year for the last 3 years. I'll leave that at that. Same thing, multiple currency platform in a secured Iceland location, 40-acre facility, using green energy to produce the electricity that's needed to produce the mining. Again, over $300 million paid out and shared with the club members. Doesn't mean you're going to make $300 million. I didn't say that. Just basically, these are hardcore facts. Same thing here. Good example. You can earn Bitcoin daily. Remember, you get paid on mining Bitcoin, okay? Even if you refer other people, the good thing about our program is if you refer other people, you also can get a match on their earned Bitcoin. So, again, it has a direct marketing component, but if you just want to mine and you never want to talk to somebody about the business, you still get paid every day. The key is it's not legal for anybody to tell you how much you get paid because you're mining. All these programs out here to tell you that you make 1, 3, 4, 5% a day, that is illegal. Not legal. And any program that's mining that doesn't give you ownership of your equipment and just having you pay for equipment and they tell you you can't get paid after 6 months or whatever, ask yourself a question. If you're in a real business, you own your equipment. Well, I see companies out here do that, and one thing great about us is it's your equipment. You actually are a miner. So, again, if you look at the screen, you see that not only you get paid every day, but you get paid every day. And each mining agreement or contract for 1,000 days. I mean, think about that. You know, you can get paid for 1,000 days on Bitcoin transactions. And if you happen to want to do a team or build a team, that's optional. But the bottom line is that's how it works. So every day you're able to earn Bitcoin, not on sponsoring, no sponsoring required, but basically earn on Bitcoin transactions. The Bitmain Antminer S9 finance program, we just put it on our website. Want to make sure you understand. You don't have to get this financed. A lot of people say, well, John, you know, I would rather put it on a credit card or I said, well, hold up. This is cryptocurrency. You can actually pay with Bitcoin to buy this equipment, or you have to get it, you know, pay hard currency. We don't do the credit card thing. We're not saying we're against credit cards. It's just that world we're moving away from. So with this situation, for people who want to be involved in mining and you want to be financed, the interest rate is based on your credit. No one can give you a set interest rate. So again, it takes 24 hours to get approved. And once again, the great thing about this program is if, you know, you really are serious. I tell people this is for serious people, not for people who want to kick tires. If you do this finance program, you better really focus on building a business. Do not do this finance program just because you want to have residual income. It will pay for itself in most cases. But I'm saying to you that if you want to use this as a business, it's a business. Now, one thing is we do charge $99 for an application fee. Here's the reason we do that. We're not looking for people to kick tires. You have to be serious about doing this business. Now, once you get approved and your equipment's installed, we give you that money right back. So that way we eliminate people who are thinking about doing the business. For $99, you do your application, and you know your credit. Right there, you have to at least have a 590 credit score. If you've got a 300 credit score, which I don't think you can have, don't do this. Don't pay $99 just to be turned down when you knew you weren't going to get approved anyway. But then if you really want to do this, affiliate earnings, let's talk about this. So let's say you did get in and you wanted to do mining and you financed yourself. Well, basically, as soon as your equipment's installed, we send you back your $99. So it costs you nothing because you were serious. But if you refer someone else, you get $400 for everybody you get approved on your network. So if you have 10 clients a month get approved for financing, you make $4,000. I'm just giving you examples. Everybody's going to be different. 30 clients over 60 days, you make $12,000. And 100 clients over, let's say, 100 days or 90 days, $40,000. Now, that's based on clients getting approved and their equipment being installed. So, again, this gives you an example that this is a serious program. This is not for somebody who's thinking about it. This is for somebody who says, okay, I want to do mining. I know I'll get paid every day on my equipment, but I have a few friends who'd like to do this also. So, again, I stress this is not for some layperson who says, oh, my interest rate's too high for this or whatever. No, this is for people who want to build, because think about it. If you do your job and you treat this like a business, it doesn't matter if your interest rate is whatever. The bottom line is you're making enough money in 30 days to pay it back. So that's why we really enforce the fact now we don't want people kicking tires. We want people who are serious about this, pay the $99, we send your application, get your paperwork to you, walk you through the process, get you approved. Once your equipment's installed, bam, we send that money right back to you because we knew you were serious. So again, this program again is for serious business people who only want to participate in a Bitcoin mining program that's legitimate, and it's not intended for people who are not ready to get started today. That's why it's important for you to understand that every day there's thousands and thousands of new Bitcoin wallets downloaded. I mean, in August, it was only 100 million wallets downloaded. Now we're going in September, we're almost, I think, at 220 million new Bitcoin wallets downloaded for people to use Bitcoin to buy with. So again, Bitcoin mining is no different than the credit card industry. You become someone who sits between the customer and a vendor, or unlike credit cards, you can do peer-to-peer with Bitcoin too. So again, this program is available today. This program is very lucrative for people who are serious about the business, but it's one of the other options. That's what I love about RPTC Club. This is just another option. This is an optional business outside of our blockchain ads, outside of all the other programs we promote. But this is the newest one that I think that all the emails we've been getting about wanting to do mining and all that, this answers that question. So again, why join our team? Bitcoin Prometheus team. Remember, Prometheus is the God who gave mankind fire. Satoshi gave mankind banking. So again, this is the team of successful, pay-it-forward-minded people who basically demonstrate, not only philanthropic, but the ability to manage and be leaders. That's what this is all about. If you, again, had invested $1,000 in Bitcoin in 2010, right now that'd be worth $90 million. And if you're saying to yourself right now, this program's good for me, I really want to do it, then yeah, welcome to the team if you want to do mining. But again, RPTC Club is 100% free. All we're teaching people is how to become wealthy in this industry. This is something we're running right now. We start really pushing in November. We have offices worldwide. RPTC Club is looking to find leaders in Austin, Texas, Berkeley, Boston, Chicago, Dallas, Denver, Detroit, Los Angeles, Miami, all the cities you see on your screen, all the way to Buenos Aires, all the way to Amsterdam, to Mexico, Mexico City, Seoul, Korea. What we're looking for is leaders to open following locations so we can start doing training in these locations. We already have contracts with the parent company of these locations. It's locked down. Now we're looking for leaders. So the reason I wanted to do this webinar today is whether it's mining or a blockchain ads, any other products we have as a company, if you are a leader and you're serious about your business and you hit a small production requirement in any of those cities, we'll open an office for you. Now I want to say this again. I want you to listen to what I'm saying to you. If you're a leader and you're being productive in our business, which means that you're marketing, building, and selling, you're building a team, whatever you might be doing, you may be working by yourself, but as long as you're productive and you hit a small requirement in, production levels, we'll actually not only open an office for you, but we'll pay for you to have a point of presence. And that's what's important about our company. We're not like anything out there. Being a club, we've got the ability to move some things around and not being, as I said, fixated or dogmatic about one specific product. It gives us great financial abilities. So again, we want to have a physical presence in all the cities. We already have the contract with the parent company that manages these offices. That's done. What we're looking for is that leadership, and that's why I said we're looking for serious people, not for people that have questions that don't make sense because they never studied their own business, but people who are proactive, who can teach other people, who have that foresight to see where Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is going. So again, what's the deal? Your life does not get better by chance. It only gets better by change. One of the world's greatest people to ever teach direct sales, Jim Rohn, said that. And that's what we really believe too. Your life does not get better by chance. It gets better by change. If you think about change, when you're born into this world, you start out as a little egg. Then you were fertilized. You change into a little thing. Then you change into an embryo. Then you change into a big thing. Then you became what's called a baby. But if you're on this call, that means you were born. That means you changed from coming from your mother's womb into a world where you took your first breath, which is your first breath towards dying. Think about that. Anybody on this call watching this webinar went through change. So if you feel that maybe you're ready to come out and be serious about your business and start doing the things it takes for you to have success, again, your life does not get better by chance. It gets better by change. And again, if you're interested in the mining, please contact me. My email is right there, jr@rptcclub.com, or you go to support@rptcclub.com. Now, again, we know mining is not for everybody, but earn Bitcoin daily won't hurt anybody. So if you earn Bitcoin daily, it won't hurt anybody. So again, thank you for viewing with us today. We'll put this out on the web. Once again, it's John Russ in Las Vegas telling everybody again, let's make a change, and let's make a change for better. With that being said, I hope you have a great weekend, and I will see you all on the next webinar Saturday. If you have any questions, please email me. Again, it's John Rusted in Las Vegas, Nevada, saying thank you so much for being on the call today.